Industries of energy.
We've got fantastic opportunities to use new technologies to secure the American people and at the same time be better stewards of the environment.
You have questions, we have answers.
Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
A very, very good Thursday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Exploring Energy Radio Show. Welcome, each and every one of our faithful listeners. I appreciate you. Here's what's on the menu at Elk City Meals on Wheels as we continue to fly through this month of November, already to the 13th. Today's stuffed bell pepper casserole, cauliflower roll, and blueberry fluff is what's on the menu. Stuffed bell pepper casserole, cauliflower roll, and blueberry fluff, $8 for regular meals, $7 for senior citizen. Everyone is welcome. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. You can call in your order, 225-5821. Elk City Meals on Wheels, 1510 West 9th Street. Throw them a few extra dollars with the holidays quickly approaching. No better time. Friends of the Carnegie Library, no better time to get free books than right now. Call 225-0136. 225-0136. If you're having trouble reading regular print, ask them about their free program that can help. Free books delivered to you by the Friends of the Library, Carnegie Caravan. Coming to you today. It's Save Fuel Day at all the Circle K hutches. 40 cents off a gallon from 4 to 7 p.m. today. From 4 to 7 p.m. this afternoon, this evening. At any Circle K hutches, get 40 cents off per gallon. The retail price, got limited 35-gallon per transaction. So you can't come in there and fill up a 500-gallon tank. But you can come in there and fill up most any road vehicle. 35-gallon per transaction. Save 40 cents a gallon on gas today at Hutch's from 4 to 7 p.m. It's Fuel Day. And nominate a hero. This is what we're doing here at KECO this Christmas. Instead of trying to get some lucky winner to get some kind of big prize, what we're doing is we're going to recognize those that are helping in our community. You know who they are. Tell us their story. Go to KECOFM.com. Every one of our sponsors is putting up a $250 value, and each one of our Christmas heroes that are selected will receive that $250 prize from our great sponsors. You can go to enter, KECOFM.com. Okay, KECOFM.com. Tell us their story. You know who they are. They're people that are out there volunteering their time or putting together projects that benefit their fellow man. It doesn't have to be just at Christmas. It can be at Christmas. It can be all year long. Tell us that story. KECOFM.com. Nominate a hero. That's what we're doing this year for Christmas, is just recognizing those people, and we're allowing our listeners to tell us who those people are. Okay, get right to it here this morning after the government finally reopened as President Trump signed that bill, so it is official now. It's not going to be like flip a switch and everything's all right back to normal, because the 42-day shutdown was, it was significant. Stupid, but it was significant. So anyway, we are back on the right track. Enough moderate Democrats and independents voted to get the government back open, which I hope they pass legislation that doesn't allow that crap to happen anymore. That's my personal opinion. American people shouldn't be used as leverage. I don't care what party you're affiliated with. West Texas Intermediate on the New York Mercantile Exchange up 69 cents, still trading a little under $60 at $59.18 a barrel. December contract out of New York. Brent crude oil on the ICE Futures Exchange has the global benchmark trading up 72 cents a barrel to $63.43 a barrel. It's a January contract out of London. Tocom crude oil in Japan down 1,450 yen per kiloliter on a November contract out of Tokyo. New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas down a penny, but still trading $4.53 per million BTU. I'm telling you, folks, $4.50 is a good price. That's a good price. That's out of the New York Mercantile Exchange December contract, $4.53 per million BTU. All right, Bob, gasoline up $1.73 to $197.27. Now heating oil down 18 cents to $247.98. Gas oil on the New York Mercantile Exchange December contract up 50 cents, trading at $725.25 per metric ton. So there's you some commodity prices. Okay, well, let's get down here and just do, how about a feel-good story? There we go. Public Service Company Foundation donates $125,000 to fight Oklahoma hunger. The Public Service Company of Oklahoma Foundation announced a combined $125,000 donation to two nonprofit organizations addressing food insecurity and supporting vulnerable families across Oklahoma. Now, just so you know, the Public Service Company of Oklahoma Foundation, that's not from your money that pays in for your utilities, okay? So they're not raising your utilities to donate this money. So you got that clear. The grants include $50,000 to Food on the Move, $75,000 to the Salvation Army, reinforcing PSO's commitment to community well-being and resilience during a period of increased need. PSO Foundation contributed $50,000 again to Food on the Move, a Tulsa-based nonprofit that hosts community food and resource events in areas identified as food deserts. These events provide fresh produce, hot meals, and access to essential services while supporting the organization's broader mission to create sustainable food access solutions through education, outreach, and partnerships. Local leaders praised the partnership. We are deeply grateful for PSO Foundation's partnership and their dedication to improving food security in our community, said Tina Parkhill, Food on the Move CEO. She added their investment enhances our work to reach families with fresh food, warm meals, and vital services during a period when SNAP benefits were paused and many households were feeling the strain. This support keeps us extended to our impact and uphold dependable access to the resources our neighbors count on. So thank you, PSO Foundation. That's wonderful that you're putting money in a place that needs some help. So that is good stuff. Okay, back to the other stuff now. The tribe continued its fight over Dakota Access Pipeline. This thing is like a winter cold, just won't go away. More than 5 years after protesters joined the Standing Rock Sioux tribe in the battle against the Dakota Access Pipeline and staged demonstrations and live-ins at the site in North Dakota, the tribe is far from finished with its fight. I forgot to add about the mountains of trash and debris that were left behind by these sit-ins, or live-ins, if you will. It filed new court documents contending a federal judge was wrong in dismissing the lawsuit it filed last October against the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers over the pipeline project of Energy Transfer Company. The Dakota Access Pipeline, owned by Energy Transfer, is 1,172 miles long and transports crude oil from North Dakota to Illinois and on to the Gulf Coast markets. The suit dismissed by U.S. District Court Judge James Boasberg, might understand that name. He's the one that goes after Trump every time, who handled the tribe's 2016 lawsuit, contended the Army Corps violated federal law by allowing the Dakota Access Pipeline to operate without an easement to cross Lake Ohlone, a reservoir that borders the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation and straddles the North Dakota and South Dakota state line. That guy needs to be impeached. I don't care. It's not just about what he did to Trump. It's just about he's just a radical, and it's a sad day when our judicial system isn't about upholding the law. It's about political persecution. And what's sad is it happened so much during the last two administrations, Obama and Brandon, that now that the judicial system's going after real criminals, people who broke the law, people who lied to Congress, people who stole money, it seems like they cry political persecution. Which, here's the deal, man. I'm the old Beretta guy. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. If you're going to dance, you got to pay the band. If you're going to go out there and be illegal and do these kind of things, you deserve to have to answer for that. I don't care what political party is in charge. If you break the law, you should have to answer for that. That's what us regular folk have to do. Why wouldn't those folk have to do the exact same thing? Are they judged by a higher standard? They shouldn't be. Anyhow, fight continues over that Dakota Access Pipeline because of activist judges. Terrible. Take a quick break. Be back with more as we continue the Thursday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show in a moment.
This is the Exploring Energy Show. When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. Oilfield customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oilfield or agriculture. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing, and if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. The business I've done with Oilfield, they got to see your face. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the customer prefers, that's what we're going to do. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings. In the Oilfield, sometimes you get a call for a crazy, hey, can you get this? And you go find it for them. American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
Solves that problem.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Killhofer Flooring Center, right on the corner, right on the price. Corner of 6th and Main, downtown Elk City, Oklahoma.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Camrock. Farmers use a lot of oil every season. The Oilfield Company uses a lot of oil all the time. Camrock's oil is the same specifications, lubricates the same as the designer brands, but Camrock's oil costs a lot less. Same oil, less money. Folks who use a lot of oil save a lot of money with Camrock. Camrock Supply on South Main Street in Elk City next to Fred's Steakhouse. Camrock Supply online, camrocksupply.com, camrocksupply.com. Locations in Elk City, Oklahoma City, Midland, Texas, and Ulysses, Kansas. That's Camrock. 3 local guys with local ties doing business with their communities. Fred's Steakhouse, right next to Camrock, is your destination for fresh USDA graded beef ribeyes, New York strips, filet mignon, sirloins, hand-cut daily by the in-house butcher. Fred's also is home of the $4.99 chicken fried steak, the famous $4.99 chicken fried steak. Under $5, the thing will fill a plate. House-made mashed potatoes, country gravy. Try some of those freshly baked rolls with it. Soup of the day, salads. They offer 7 kinds of chicken. They have seafood. Fresh grilled or fried shrimp, fish tacos, grilled salmon, also fried freshwater catfish. Fred's has appetizers sure to please everyone. Wood chips, fried pickles, cheese curds, to name a few. Cap off your dining experience with fresh in-house made desserts And Fred's also has a full-service bar. Your favorite cocktails, wines, specialty drinks, and ice-cold beer. Fred's Steakhouse can host your private event. You got Christmas parties coming up. Call them, 243-2100, 243-2100. Located at 2107 South Main Street in Elk City. Order online on the Chow Now app. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And David Allen Guest, good friend of the show, avid listener, but also a guy that knows minerals and royalty management. He's a certified mineral manager and a man you can trust. Doing it for nearly 40 years from himself and others for a reason, because he knows how to do it. And he'll get you the most out of your royalties. That's the bonus. He'll be a guy you'll be glad you're doing business with, because he'll get you the most out of your royalties and you can trust him. And if you find yourself in a situation to sell, David's a buyer of royalties from states, probates, trucks, and bankruptcies. You don't want somebody taking advantage of you. David Allen Guest. Give him a call, 405-341-8698. 405-341-8698. Or look him up on the interweb. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. And ASCO Equipment, one of 27 locations. This outfit is big. They've been doing it since 1960 for a reason also, because they treat their customers right. They're not trying to squeeze every penny out of you. They're trying to be a partner in your project. If you're looking for heavy equipment for sale or rent, ASCO is your source. They're a leading provider for the Oklahoma construction, ag, and energy sectors. And they're proudly serving the Elk City area with construction equipment like tractors, backhoes, wheel loaders, cranes, dozers, excavators, forklift compactors, flexible rental rates. They'll come and work on your equipment no matter where you bought it or when you bought it or what brand it is. This outfit is the real deal. $21 million worth of equipment parts in stock. There's nothing worse than waiting for a part to have to come in and just waiting. Also, those flexible rental rates. Get a hold of E.J. Gredeman on the rental side or Bart Shields on the equipment side, or just call the main office, talk to Jeremy Bridgman or anyone there at ASCO. 323-3422, 513 West 20th Street, online, ascoeq.com, ASCOEQ.com. Okay. Well, we talking about a lot of this natural gas, as we surely should. Well, the International Energy Administration, the EIA, raises oil output forecast, says oversupply will weigh on prices. So let's talk a little bit about the oil for a little bit. U.S. oil production is expected to set a larger record this year than previously forecast, even as global supply outpaces fuel demand. The Energy Information Administration said in its short-term energy outlook report yesterday, the Department of Energy's statistical arm expects U.S. oil output to average about 13.6 million barrels per day, both this year and in 2026, up from its prior forecast of 13.5 million barrels per day. The agency said the revision was due to higher than expected output in August. Oil output, again, that averaged 13.2 barrels per day last year, which was the prior record. Global oil inventories will rise through 2026 as global oil production is growing faster than demand for petroleum fuels, the EIA said, expecting it to pressure crude oil prices. Oil prices will fall through the end of this year and average $55 per barrel in 2026, according to the EIA. Petroleum fuel prices will fall as the price of oil comes down. U.S. gasoline prices is expected to fall to an average of $3 per gallon in next year's, down 10% from 2024. The diesel prices will drop to about $3.50 $3.50 per gallon in 2026, down 7% from the 2024 levels. The price of crude oil accounts for roughly half of the price of gasoline and diesel. The EIA forecasts the price of crude oil to account for 43% share of the price of gasoline and a 36% share of the price of diesel in 2026. So the EIA and the short-term energy outlook. Here's how I see this thing playing out. There's not a whole lot of new drilling going on with these prices that in the upper 50s, lower 60s for WTI, or the lower 60s for Brent crude oil. But as demand is going to continue, and if production starts waning, then, of course, supply is going to be less than the demand, and then the prices are going to go up. And I'm just also wondering how long OPEC Plus is going to sit on that fence and make less money. Now, this is kind of a conundrum, if you will. President Trump, I mean, he wanted that gasoline prices down below $3, and it does help the average everyday person. I mean, when you go to the pump and you're paying, near $4 for a gallon of gas, it's taxing on the average everyday person. I'm talking about those people that live paycheck to paycheck. I'm one. I know you guys are also. I mean, it's so what is the happy medium? Okay. Well, the happy medium is less dependence on foreign oil, in my opinion. That needs to be taken care of. We should be able to produce, we can produce what we use here. Now, our biggest problem is we just don't have the refining capacity here in the United States. And a lot of that has been because of EPA overrule in some past administrations and the appetite to bring in a lot more foreign oil by past administrations. So now that Trump is sitting there saying, okay, listen, we need to be able to be self-sufficient in our energy output. Okay, well, the next investment we're going to have to make to be able to do that is to be able to refine our own products. Our refining capacity, it's going to have to be retooled. It's going to have to be reevaluated and just reworked, because for so long, the refiners that we do have were set up to take heavy oil that comes in from Canada. I mean, there is some heavy oil in the United States, not the majority of it for sure. What they call 3-run oil. In other words, it's so heavy it has to be run through that refinery 3 times before it can get to a place that can be used as fuel. And then the West Texas Intermediate, or the U.S. Sweet Crude, it's a 1-run oil. It's already, broke down enough that when you run it through that refinery, you just have to run it through 1 time to have a usable product. But right now, we just don't have the refining capacity here in the United States to handle the fuel load. So as we're going forward with this, that's what the United States is going to have to continue to latch onto and fix, and that is our refining capacity. Now, the pipelines we talk about on this show, those are vital because you're going to have to get that product to those refineries to get it to market. So we're going to have to continue to put pipelines in the ground. And I don't care what these environmental greenie weenies are saying. The pipeline is the most effective in cost and safety of any kind of transportation for hydrocarbons. It's just, there's no comparison, honestly. So anyway, we've been talking a whole lot about these data centers because they're the real thing. They're here. I mean, they're coming. They're here right now. Well, energy is the foundation of every digital edition. That's what Antonio Contijo, the CEO of EDP Innovation, said in a presentation at a Web Summit event in Lisbon, Portugal, Tuesday this week, that was attended by RigZone. This is a RigZone story. The next century will be powered by volts, amps, and watts. AI's future depends on the electrons that we can generate and deliver. Energy is the new bandwidth. In the presentation, Contijo pointed out that we're always talking about AI and said every company wants to be an AI company. He went on to question, however, if we can afford to have the energy to support all this consumption, adding that there is a hidden cost dependency that we usually don't talk about that much, which is about energy. Behind every prompt, every inference, every image, there's always a transformer, a copper line, a generation asset. No energy, no intelligence, Contijo said in a presentation. And he's right. Behind every GPU cluster, There's a transformer that makes this possible. Energy needs infrastructure, and we are starting to see this tension between energy and the digital age, he added. Cohinto stated in his presentation that since 2014, AI compute has grown 350,000 times its size. Since 2014, generation assets have grown only 1.6 times during the same period, he pointed out. So digital is scaling exponentially, but the physics of the energy just go incrementally, he said. There's a need of steel, copper, and people with time to make this happen. You cannot copy-paste a gigawatt. Boy, now there's a mouthful. So the exponential is meeting the physical bottlenecks, and the bottlenecks are already visible around the energy system, he added. In his presentation, Cohinto highlighted that each hyperscale data center needs around 300 to 500 megawatts of power. This is a medium-sized power plant. If you think about cooling and redundancy, this is even double the amount of demand, he said. According to his social media, Cohinto has been CEO of EDP Innovation since January of 2021. Cohinto's social media shows that he also serves as president of the Associated Portuguesa de Energia, which describes itself on social media as the Portuguese member committee of the World Energy Council. A separate presentation at the Web Summit, which was also attended by Rig's own David Savage, Harvey Nash Group tech evangelist and host of the global podcast Tech Talks, said AI is rightly the topic of so many different stages. At the 2025 Web Summit, and added that it is accelerating opportunity faster than ever. He warned, however, that it's colliding head-on with a physical force. That's power. Every prompt we type, every token we generate, every model we train, it costs real finite power, he stated. Savage is described in a Web Summit bio page as a top tech influencer, speaker, and moderator. Web Summit 2025 is taking place, November 10th through the 13th, so tomorrow's the last day. According to the event's website, it has 71,386 attendees from 157 countries. It's very interesting what they said about you can't copy and paste a gigawatt, and that is so true. But every stroke of a keyboard, and just think about that for a second, how many computers are in the world today, or even just in the United States, or even just in Oklahoma, or just in our radio listening area. Every time a keystroke is made, it requires power from somewhere. They can't lose track of this as they go forward with AI, but I like what he said about this. It's colliding. The insatiable need for artificial intelligence, data, and the energy supply. It's a collision course. A lot of people are thinking a lot bigger than what they're able to produce. And that's what we got to be careful about. That world of other issues. But nonetheless, we're at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to take another quick break and be back with more of the Thursday edition right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show. Hi, I'm Mike Rowe, and it never fails. Every time I visit this state and talk to the folks in the energy business, I learn something world-changing. The technology here is bleeding edge, and so is the focus on the environment. As for the people, they're among the smartest, most innovative, most talented workers I've ever had the pleasure of meeting anywhere. They're busy keeping our modern life going. Not a bad career choice, if you ask me. See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
This hadn't happened in years. While it's still 2025, get 0% interest for 60 months on any 2025 F-150, regardless of the trim package. And since you don't have to make any payments for 90 days, you'll have plenty of money left to buy Christmas presents. Through New Year's Eve, Barbara Dyson Ford has 0% for 60 months on all 2025 F-150s, regardless of the trim package, and no payments for 90 days. The holidays just got a lot more festive at Barbara Dyson Ford in Oak City. Online, barbadysonford.net.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The way a doctor knows the human body, that's how you know trucks. You hear a rattle, a rumble, a vibration, and you know exactly what's wrong. You're a diagnostic genius, the go-to for getting trucks running and keeping them tough and DOT compliant. You're a Mac Pro, a tech tool titan. With a wrench in your hand, there's nothing you can't fix. Canyon Oilfield Services is looking for you. Our Hinton, Oklahoma yard has 10 trucks ready for your expertise and a fleet of over 70 trucks waiting for your oversight. It's a big job for a big talent. Not every mechanic has what it takes, but you're different. You're a mechanical boss, and they call you Haas, and we need your expertise. You tell us what it'll take to get you on board and added to the team. We're ready to deal. Call 580-729-3297 to set up your interview. 580-729-3297. At Canyon Oilfield Services, the key word is service.
A guy in Altus buys an RV from a fellow in El Reno. The transaction came about through the penny news. The power of the penny news is a force of nature.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
And we are back. The show brought to you in part by American Hose and Supply. For you to keep making money, your equipment, your machinery has to keep running. Well, American Hose and Supply, they'll help you do that. American Hose and Supply inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. You can call them at 303-1123. That's 303-1123. Again, let me do this right here. Yeah. That's the weirdest thing about having your phone into your hearing aids. It just automatically takes over when you get a phone call. American Hose and Supply, 303-1123. Go to those who know hose. DCP Services, diversified oil field company offering the right services with the right people on the job. We appreciate the good folks. The Davis family, Terry and Jeff Davis, Toby, Carly, all of them. They've got a roustabout division, lease operators division, a wireline division, both braided and slick line capabilities, and the DCP pump repair shop in Cordell. DCP Services, proud supporter of the Exploring Energy radio show, and we're glad to have them. You can find DCP Services on Facebook, or you can call Jeff Davis, 660-0501. And then, of course, couldn't do the show without our great sponsors, no doubt about it. So, you know, we just got through talking about a story about, you know, how important how important it is to realize that these AI centers, these data centers, and what is going to be, what kind of a power and water supply is it going to take? Well, came across this story about data centers and where should they be built. A new study that focused on where data centers should be built across the U.S. cautioned that the net zero promises of tech companies aren't likely to hold up against the energy and water needs of the massive facilities. Published in the journal Nature Communications, the study also showed pluses and minuses when it comes to data center locations in Oklahoma and the region. For instance, the study indicated the top 10 states grappling with severe water scarcity issues are California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Washington, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Oregon, and Montana, which are concentrated primarily in the western United States. Water, of course, is a major need for cooling in the large data centers. The study found that large adoption of hydropower leads to increased unit energy, water footprint in several states such as Arizona, California, Nevada, New Mexico, and Utah, exacerbating the water scarcity issue. Oklahoma was not among those states reported to be grappling with water and was found to be among several states identified as the top 10 states with abundant renewable energy potentials. The other states that were also in that top 10 were Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and South Dakota. One of the authors of the analysis concluded the study started 3 years ago came at a perfect time to understand how artificial intelligence, AI, is making an impact on climate systems and water usage and consumption. Not only do these things use a lot of water, it's going to use a lot of power to move that water around too. But the study, which focused on the environmental impact of data centers, identified a few states as the best sites for AI server deployment. And those top states were Texas, Montana, Nebraska, and South Dakota. The choices were made because of the abundant renewables, low water scarcity, and what it called projected water and carbon intensities. So, like I said, this is the topic of conversation because it's happening. Okay, I don't think that these companies that are saying that we're going to reduce our carbon footprint, and then they go out there and they build these gigantic data centers that use a lot of power and use a lot of water. They're not going to be able to, well, in my opinion, they're not going to be able to even come close to what they promised they were going to try to do. So it's really funny that they have all these net zero emissions, and then they it's like Google, for instance. You're like, hey, we're going to be 100% renewable, yada yada yada, by 2030 and all that, and then they start putting these gigantic AI data centers, and there's no way that they're going to be able to power those with carbon-free footprint. There's no way. So, it's a lot of blow and no show. But anyway, came across this story also. The race for AI dominance underscores the need for natural gas. Like we said, electricity is the lifeblood of modern society, powering our homes, industries, communications, and daily activities. As the global demand for electricity continues to rise, the pursuit of reliable, efficient, sustainable means of power generation is more critical and crucial than ever. Among the various sources of energy, of course, natural gas has emerged as a pivotal contributor to the generation of electric power, offering unique advantages that position it as a critical in the U.S. energy future. From the earliest days of coal-fired steam engines to the emergence of renewable energy technologies, the energy industry has continually evolved to address changing societal needs and environmental priorities. Natural gas, which has been under constant attack for the past several years, is now increasingly recognized as a critical fuel for power generation. Despite constant attacks from a well-organized and well-funded environmental community, the track record of clean-burning natural gas is evident. Burning natural gas produces about 50 to 60% less carbon dioxide, CO2, than coal per unit of electricity generated. In addition to lower CO2 emissions, natural gas combustion emits less sulfur dioxide, mercury, and particulate matter, paving the way for improved air quality and public health. In addition, because of industry efforts, methane emissions have been declining for decades. Modern technology and industry practices have helped minimize leaks during extraction, transportation, and the use of natural gas. Natural gas holds a unique and vital place in the generation of electric power. Its combination of reliability, efficiency, economic value, and relatively lower environmental impact makes it a very important resource in the ongoing evolution of the energy sector. As the world pursues a sustainable and resilient energy future, natural gas will continue to play that supporting role and sometimes leading role, ensuring that the lights stay on while we navigate the path toward cleaner alternatives. And so the focus on natural gas and artificial intelligence, okay? The Energy and Equipment Infrastructure Alliance, the EEIA, recently sent a letter of support for the establishment of a new working group on AI and energy. The EEIA, the Energy Equipment Infrastructure Alliance, represents the energy supply chain consisting of the companies and workers who build and provide equipment, materials, supplies, and services to energy infrastructure development, including facilities essential to natural gas production, transportation, and consumption. Created by Representative Julie Fedorchak, this working group aims to develop a legislative framework that will reliably, affordably, and sustainably power the future of AI in the U.S. The EEIA, the Energy Equipment Infrastructure Alliance, letter was in response to a request for information recently issued by Fedorchak to gather input from various stakeholders, including project owners, energy producers, tech sectors, on strategies to ensure a stable and sustainable energy supply for AI infrastructure. So at least people are starting to understand that promises are one thing, but, you know, like my grandma always said, it's not getting what you want, it's wanting it after you get it. And when we start talking about the energy availability, now we have the behind the meter here in Oklahoma. So, you know, feasibly, an AI center could work out here in western Oklahoma, so to speak, on the electrical power if they had their own generator, if they generated the own power that their AI required, their facility required. I'm all about that. But the water situation. Now, eastern Oklahoma has a lot more abundance of water than we have out here. I guess it's because we have more cedar trees, if you hear listen to some. But I'm just saying, you got to be really careful about where you put these things, because you do not want it to affect the daily lives of those that are living in a certain area just to get a big AI center. You got to be smart about where you put them. And I'm glad to see there's some people that are doing some research to try to find out where the best place is to put these things, because it's coming. I mean, we're going to have it. I mean, we're not going to be able to sit back and let other countries like China, dominate the artificial intelligence world, the AI data world. We're going to have to keep up. We're going to have to stay up. Well, with that being said, we'll be back with the mop-up segment. My lovely assistant, TJ, has joined me, and she's going to be having the weather forecast, energy stock prices of local note, energy news in my briefs, and more as we continue with the last segment of the Thursday edition right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. You know, one of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? The catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for. Of course, they got burgers. They got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Hi, it's Andy Taylor. We're living in some very turbulent times. It's easy to get discouraged in the normal course of life, but the good news is God has all the answers. His presence and companionship always makes all the difference. A big part of what we do at Trinity Fellowship is to help people in the process of coming into relationship with the Father. We'd love to help you. Our services start at 10 a.m. on Sunday. You can find us on our Trinity Fellowship Facebook page, or you can listen right here on KECO at 9:30. We'd love to have you be part of our family.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite. We'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gredeman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
You got 5-6 tractors out there. You got a dozer, a traco, a grader, something like that. I mean, you go through a lot of oil in a season. I mean, you'll use a few hundred gallons in a season. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. They can come in and talk to us, see what they want, or give us a call, and we can come out and see what they have, fill their tanks, set them tanks. That's what we've done here in the past. We've converted a lot of farmers over to our brand, our house brand of motor diesel oil. The price savings it's huge for them. We sell it to oilfield companies also. They use it in frac pumps, and they're not happy, you know it, and it's working great for them. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. The price savings it's huge for them.
Try the penny news for your business. It's the little paper with a big punch.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Welcome back, everyone. Sustaining Oklahoma's energy resource is part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. They are continuing to educate our industry. And here we go. They've got a new one coming up. November 18th, maximizing tax savings for oil and gas business owners. Pay attention to this. You can join them for an in-depth workshop to uncover the powerful tax strategies for business owners. They'll dive into the key provisions such as the first year 100% bonus depreciation. That's going to be November the 18th. It's an 11 a.m. Zoom meeting. Again, maximizing tax savings for oil and gas business owners. This is a good one. Go to www.soer.oerb.com to get yourself registered. You have to do it before close of business Monday, November the 17th. And then coming up December the 4th, it's Natural Gas Midstream and Marketing 101 class. That's an in-person or Zoom meeting. You choose. Natural Gas Midstream Marketing 101 introduces the functions of oil and gas industry that involve the transportation, storage, and sale of oil and gas products. This is all going on at SOAR. Click on the top, producer education. There'll be a drop down, and click on workshops, and it'll give you all the information and just an easy blue box to click to register to attend. Go to www.soer.oerb.com. That's SOAR, soer.oerb.com. If they ask how you heard about it, tell them you heard about it on the Exploring Energy Radio Show. This hour's weather forecast brought to you as a service of Carter Electric. Carter Electric. There is my lovely assistant. Good morning. If your power goes out at midnight, you can call Carter Electric. They provide that 24-hour emergency electrical service. You want to make sure your power stays on regardless. Generac generators. Generac generators. They're an authorized dealer for Generac. They can size it for your business or your home. They can sell it to you, install it correctly, professionally, and come back and service it. And if you know Kervin and Mary Orgain, they're the ones that own Carter Electric. Even see, I'll help you see in the light of day, even at night. If you don't know them, you need to know them. They're good folks. A lot of electric work goes on overhead. Carter understands it. That's why Carter Electric has pole trucks, man lifts to get way up high if there's a problem up there. Licensed, insured, trusted. It's Carter Electric in Elk City, 225-2447, 225-2447, providing you this hour's weather forecast, the service of Carter Electric. Sounds like another pretty good forecast. What do you got over there, TJ?
I agree. We are sunny with a high near 78, south wind 6 to 11 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 44, south wind 5 to 7 miles per hour. Friday, sunny with a high near 79, south wind 5 to 9. Saturday, sunny with a high near 83, south wind 9 to 13 miles per hour, becoming north in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 20. Sunday, sunny with a high near 71. Monday, sunny with a high near 77. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 64. And Wednesday, a 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a high around 62.
Okay.
Not bad.
No. And a little bit of possibility for rain showers this next week.
Small chance.
We'll take. You're saying there's a chance. Here's the energy news in my briefs. The U.S. Supreme Court declines to hear an appeal in a case that will prevent utilities from issuing certain customer surcharges that will save ratepayers about $400 million by 2031. And in a speech at the United Nations COP30 Climate Summit in Brazil, California Governor Gavin Newsom criticized the Trump administration's absence from the event and fossil fuel-friendly energy policies. Trump's like, we don't need to go down there and listen to these blowhards. An investigation finds Republican U.S. lawmakers from California and Utah took advantage of a federal clean energy tax credit for residential solar installations before voting to sunset the incentives. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek, she signs a transportation bill that raises the gasoline tax and increases vehicle registration fees, prompting anti-tax advocates to launch a referendum effort to overturn it. And a Michigan township outside Kalamazoo is considering a moratorium on commercial battery storage projects after a proposal stirred backlash among some residents. And Russia's decision to choke off gas deliveries in 2022, an attempt to fracture Western unity and pressure Europe into abandoning Ukraine, has had the opposite effect. Its share of European Union gas imports has fallen from 45% in 2021 to under 10% today. And General Motors has directed several thousand of its suppliers to scrub their supply chains of parts from China. Four people familiar with the matter said, reflecting automakers' growing frustration over geopolitical disruptions to their operations. China said Monday this week it's making good on its pledge to crack down on chemicals that can be used to make fentanyl, a key issue for President Donald Trump during recent talks with Chinese leader Xi Jinping as they aim to take steps to ease a trade war. Yeah, they shouldn't be having these chemicals that are used to even make this crap.
I agree.
But anyway, that's some energy news in my briefs. What do you got for stock prices, sis? You got good news?
Yeah, mostly.
All right.
Yeah, it's mostly green. We're good today. American Electric Power is down 43 cents, trading at $122.25. Apache is up 32 cents at $24.21. Baker Hughes is up 27 cents at $47.80. ConocoPhillips is up 38 cents, trading at $89.45. Devon Energy is up 10 cents at $35.31. EOG Resources is up 83 cents at $109.59. Expand Energy is down 74 cents at $118.15. General Electric is down $2.52, trading at $306.50. Halliburton is up 19 cents at $27.11. Hallmark and Payne is up 54 cents, trading at $27.13. Liberty Energy is down 35 cents at $15.82. Occidental Petroleum is up 5 cents at $42.01. OG&E Energy is down 26 cents at $45.40. One Oak is up 53 cents at $69.41. Phillips 66 is up 99 cents at $138.94. Sandridge Energy is up 37 cents at $14.10. Schlumberger is up 39 cents at $36.48. And Williams Companies is up 38 cents at $60.82.
Ooh. It's playoff time for Big Elk football.
Yes,
They'll travel Friday night, tomorrow night, down to Ardmore. Take on the Tigers. You can watch that free if you're not going down to the game on BigElkTV.com. Aaron Couch, Jared Athan, and our sideline reporter Denny Gino on the call. Brought to you by the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Let's go, Big Elks. Congratulations, making it to week number 11, taking on number 2 out of 4A to Ardmore. They're 7-2 coming into the game. But anyway, Big Elks have got a chance. And then Paragon TV. Basketball tomorrow night. Amber Poe Cassidy at Arapahoe Butler, 6:30 p.m. Cheyenne Raiden at Leedy. It's homecoming for Leedy at 6:30 p.m. Friday night. And Eric at Hammond at 6:30 p.m. Be sure and get yourself a membership. It's just $9.99 a month. Sign up before the game so you can catch all the action. Watch all 8 Paragon TV schools. And we've added Sentinel this year. A lot of other extras. So get on there and get you some of that. Again, thank you to the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Thank you to all of our great sponsors. Thank you, Tony, for joining me again this morning. Be back tomorrow. Have yourself a great day. I promise we'll talk again.
We're like the drill in your toolbox, helping you get the job done.
96.5 KECO, Elk City.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Back to business.
We got the government open. Let's celebrate tonight.
House Speaker Mike Johnson. President Trump says all blame for the 43-day shutdown goes to Democrat leaders for attempting to extort Obamacare subsidies.
They caused tens of